What's up, Dragons? Raymaze here. So today, we have another creepypasta to do. I'm gonna be reacting to two different ones. The first one is a hunting trip, and the other one is the Romanian knowledge experiment. I'll be reacting to that one. But yeah. These two ones are gonna be real good. If you guys want me to react more, as always, leave a comment down below. Also, subscribe to me, turn on notifications, as well as that bell button, because you never know when I do a video just like this one. I almost messed that up a little bit. So, yeah, also check out the playlist. I'll put a card up here to so you guys can check out the past reactions that I did, and you guys can enjoy the videos that I did. So, let's start with the hunting trip. This one's 5 minutes long, and the other one is like 9 minutes long, so this is probably going to be a good video for you all to watch. Let's get into this. Kapow!
It was my first time hunting. I was 21 going.
Hang on. I forgot to put my headphones on, so my headset on. Sorry.
With my friends Anthony, Christian, Tom, and his girlfriend Diana to some park in Colorado to go elk hunting. We brought 2 separate tents that were relatively large, sleeping bags, 2 days worth.
I actually never been onto a hunting trip. I actually went camping one time, and they brought sleeping bags. But a hunting trip, I'd never done hunting before. Probably somewhere in the longer distant future, I probably would. But yeah, I seen like my cousins bring in dead deer all the time into the house. Not in the house, but in the garage, and I just see it like strung up dead. Blood was everywhere. Blech. It was gross.
With the food and drinks, and of course, guns. I couldn't even tell you the name of the gun Anthony handed me. It was just a basic looking hunting rifle.
Well, it is.
Honestly, I didn't know how I felt about the whole thing. Killing a living, breathing animal that has just as much of a will to live as me, merely for so-called fun, didn't seem cool to me. But it was like the 5th time Anthony offered, and I felt like I had to say yes. I decided I wouldn't shoot any animals about halfway through the car ride. Anthony pulled into a lot. We unpacked.
Yeah, it's kind of, if you don't, I get, there's probably going to be some people who will probably bitch at me for killing a living animal. I've been like, the hell am I supposed to do? Like I can't do anything. But if you want to like saying like, oh, like animals are living, just rant on Twitter about it. Alright, don't come bitching at me if I killed an animal.
Packed the car and proceeded to hike about a mile into the woods before setting up camp. First thing after setting up camp, we all followed Anthony's lead as he proudly babbled on about hunting techniques.
Oh boy.
I wished I had someone to laugh about it with, but everyone else seemed serious about it as well. I tried busting Anthony's chops by asking him, wouldn't it be better to stop talking if you don't want to scare away any potential prey? He got pissed. I could tell he took this really seriously, and from there on, I shut up. And by there on, I mean however long things were going normal.
Oh, I remember this one. It was a long time ago. It's one of my old stories. But me, my cousin, my brother, my family, and my cousins and I all traveled. We were supposed to go on a hike over a hill to go like to a fishing spot. Well, I thought, oh, we're gonna go over a hill, but nope, we went over a fucking mountain, and then we walked all the way back. And I had a sunburn, my arms were burning, my neck was burning. I had a huge headache. It was not fun. It was not fun at all.
And that wasn't long. During our hunt, we ran into a rather strange group of people. Three rather large, dirty men with long, sticky hair. They looked like they belonged to some kind of inbreeding house deep in the woods.
Oh no.
They looked at us and sort of nodded their heads as if to say hello as we passed by them, one by one. We were officially freaked out. It might sound like something that would be laughable, but under the circumstances, it was horrifying. We were deep in the woods, far from the lot, which was, for the record, completely empty. And it may sound exaggerated, but these 3 looked like creepy lowlives who could be dangerous.
Oh shit.
Thankfully, though, they didn't follow us, which allowed for us to peacefully go on with our hunt. Anthony ended up killing a deer. We didn't find any elks. We dragged the deer all the way back to our campsite, and that was actually our dinner for the night. Anthony and Tom went through a disgusting, bloody process of skinning, and I'm pretty sure gutting the deer, but I didn't watch for more than a few seconds.
You're gonna have to do that.
Anthony made us venison burgers. He came prepared with the buns and everything.
Hey.
While I didn't particularly agree,
Boys gotta have prepared for dinner. If you gotta make burgers out of deer meat, you at least gotta come prepared with buns and stuff. So, props for him.
with the sport, I was impressed with Anthony. We went to sleep first thing at dark with the fire still going outside, and I was having a really bad time trying to get comfortable in that sleeping bag. Anthony and Christian seemed to fall asleep quickly, while I, on the other hand, had to be rolling around for at least 2 hours. I've always had a hard time falling asleep in sleeping bags. I was actually about to get up and go outside to pee when I heard footsteps coming from outside the tent. I opened my mouth to call out Tom or Diana's name, but I realized, what if it wasn't them? I laid silently and listened. In an unexpected instant, the zipper to our tent got pulled down, and I threw my head down to the side and acted as if I were asleep.
Ooh, smart move.
There was a short pause before the zipper got pulled back up. I waited until the pairs of footsteps moved away. They seemed to be moving to Tom and Diana's tent. Then I realized it must have been them, and they must have been checking if we were asleep so they could, mess around, I guess. So I decided to play a little joke on them. I gave it about 5 minutes before I unzipped the tent and began creeping over to their tent. Then I realized their zipper was still undone. That's strange, I thought to myself. I crept over expecting to scare the two lovebirds, but instead, when I got close enough, I saw two men inside of the tent doing something to Diana.
Oh, what the fuck?
At that moment, I screamed as loud as I could, mostly out of fear, but also to wake everyone up. Anthony and Christian stormed out from the tent with their rifles. When the two men fled from the tent, I realized something. They were the same two men we had seen earlier.
Oh my god, they're crazy.
Tom and Anthony fired rounds in their direction to scare them off. However, something even more horrifying happened after that. After they shot their rounds, we all looked around us, completely horrified, as men in almost all directions who were previously hiding in bushes and behind trees were taking off in different directions.
What the fuck?
We tried waking up Tom and Diana, but they seemed to have been injected with some kind of tranquilizers by the men.
What the?
We had no choice but to wait until they woke up, which took about maybe half an hour. Running back to the car in that pitch-black forest was one of the most horrifying moments of my life.
Yeah, you better start running.
We don't know who all those people were. They could have been part of some secluded inbreeding house for all we knew, or even some kind of cannibalistic family.
No.
We have no idea what they were planning on doing with Tom and Diana, but we're just happy we all got out of there safely.
Oh my god. I knew what they were probably about to do. They were probably fucking eat them. Tranquilize them, put them to sleep, take them out in the freaking woods, and then eat them. They're probably cannibals in those woods. Oh my god. Nope. Not it for me. I'm not going to deal with that. Alright, so the next one we're going to do is the remaining knowledge experiment. This is another creepypasta. Let's get into this one.
In 1960, Alexandru Sift, a well-known scientist, traveled to the forest of Hoia Basayu, located in eastern Romania.
What now? Oh, it's a foreign.
The Hoia forest had the reputation of being a hotspot for paranormal activities.
Ooh.
The main reason for Sift's motivation. He wrote many notes about his experiences there, but many were found burnt upon his death in 1993.
Very well known.
The notes that survived detailed his experiments on the forest with test subjects.
Oh no, not test subjects.
In every one of his notes, he ended by saying, "Knowledge is harmful. Ignorance is bliss."
Oh boy. Oh, excuse me.
10 years later, the Romanian government developed interest in the few notes that survived. So they sought to recreate his experiments.
Don't ever do it, please.
3 men volunteered for it. They were told this was simply to see how an average person would manage to travel in a foreign territory, using only a compass and a light source.
Oh!
Of course, they were lied.
I would not be able to fucking do it. If you put me in a forest, you go one destination to somewhere else, only with a compass and a light source, I would not survive. Hell no. I would not be able to do it.
As no sane man would volunteer.
No.
If they knew what awaited them.
Count me out.
They were also told there would be a substantial reward should they succeed. The first test subject was brought by helicopter to the west zone of the forest at midnight. He carried with him a backpack, food, water, a compass, and an oil lantern with enough oil to last until morning. He was instructed to keep moving east until he hit a road, which would lead him to a cabin where a few government agents awaited him.
I am so bad at directions. If you give me like a compass, I'll probably be like confused of which way the directions go. I would probably been so freaking lost in the woods. I would have been terrified.
He was also told to stop every 30 minutes to record any and all events on a sheet of paper.
Give me like a tape recorder. I will record it.
He arrived at the cabin at 2 a.m. He handed the sheet to the agents and was driven to a nearby city, where he was handed his reward.
Oh boy.
His sheet said the following. 12:30 a.m. I stopped at a nearby creek to rest and eat. Being in a forest at night with only an oil lantern for a source of light really managed to scare the heck out of me.
Me too.
I thought I kept seeing more shadows than there actually were. 1 a.m. I stopped at a little clearing to change the oil. I swear, there must be something out there following me.
There has to be something.
I can almost be sure there was a shadow that wasn't from any tree.
Bob, I see
Maybe an
it.
animal.
I see it.
1:30 a.m. Now I'm really freaked out. I saw something staring at me in the distance. I only managed to see its silhouette, but as soon as I looked at it, it disappeared.
Oh my god.
I'm starting to second guess this experiment. 1:55 a.m. I'm on the road. I can see the cabin from here. That thing from before kept following me. The more I walked, the closer it got to me. Thankfully, I haven't seen it for a while, so I figure I'll get to the cabin without any more delays.
That thing is terrifying.
The first subject remained alarmed for a few days afterwards, but soon returned to a calm state.
You probably would be alarmed.
The second test subject was deployed in the same spot as the previous one. On the following night, he had the same exact gear, except instead of an oil lantern, he had an infrared camera.
An infrared camera in the dark? How the hell are you gonna see from that? Like, it's gonna be impossible. Oh Jesus, that's like the worst light source ever. I'm not offensive to speak, brain. I'm not bashing on infrared cameras. They're kind of cool to read body temperatures, but using as a light source in the complete dark woods, no.
He arrived at the cabin at 5 a.m. The agents noticed he was physically and psychologically shaken.
Oh.
He was panting and crying in fear.
Oh. He's probably terrified of that.
His note said the following. 12:30 a.m. This camera really doesn't help me navigate. I even fell a few times because of it.
Told you.
Almost everything I see is blue and black, except for the occasional red spot of an animal or bird.
That is not an animal. That is not an animal.
1 a.m. I don't know what the hell you guys put out here with me, but it's not funny. I took a break to drink some water when I heard a rattling coming from deep within the forest. I took my camera to see what it was, but I'm sure that was no normal animal. It was big and hunched over. I couldn't make out its details since it was glowing bright red.
That thing is terrifying.
I slowly walked away from it,
Good idea.
never losing it out of my sight, even though it stayed completely motionless. I found a small ditch to hide. I guess it's better to write in here than out in the open.
Good idea.
I'll quicken up my pace. The faster I get out of here, the better. "4:30 a.m. I'm sorry for not writing more frequently. I just never had the chance. Shortly after the last entry, I heard it walking towards me. I dove in a small cave and waited for it to pass. I took so long because of that. It didn't leave me alone. I'll probably not write anything else until I get to safety. The last thing I want is to be surprised by that thing while my guard is down." The second test subject was visibly stressed and taken to a psychologist for 3 months.
That's probably work.
The third subject never came back.
Oh no.
He was deployed in the same spot on the following night. He had the same gear, except he had a night vision camera.
Now that would work. That'll work.
When the agents were leaving the shack, they noticed a worn and ragged piece of paper on their doorstep.
Oh no.
It had only one entry. It said the following: 12:05 a.m. If you find this, please tell my family I love them.
Oh no.
These might be my last words. After I couldn't see the helicopter anymore, I turned on the camera to check my surroundings. I can see it,
What? There it is.
20 meters in front of me. It doesn't move as I write this. It doesn't even blink. It has no eyelids.
What the hell?
It's taller than any human or bear that I have ever encountered.
That's popping the monster.
It's hunched over like a gorilla, supporting its weight on the extremities of its limbs. I can't even call those things hands.
Oh, is that thing?
It has round eyes, no pupils.
That thing's terrifying.
Oh God. It's shaking the trees as it moves. After the conclusion of the experiment, the Romanian government placed an electrified fence and guard tower surrounding the entire Hoya
Good
Basayu
fucking
forest.
idea. Good idea.
They made sure not to let anyone in
Or anything.
or anything out.
Holy crapperoonies. Oh my god, that one was so good. I hope you guys enjoyed that one, but oh my god. That was insane. That's just, I'm just lost for words for it, but oh my god, that was a good one. Yeah, hope you guys check out on the playlist of all the past reactions. As well as turn on that, make sure you guys turn on that notification, as well as the bell, because you guys never know I do videos like this. But, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you do. Go subscribe to me. Let's get to 500 subscribers. If you guys want more content, go check out the Boys' channels, Male Rhino, Rusty Fuse, and Spartan Living. All free channels are in the link in the description. And I'm Ray Mason, signing out. Peace, Dragons.